Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the third episode of the Mrs. Podcast. I know this episode is a little bit different. We have to, we've had 3 different themes for 3 different videos, but I'm here with my co-host, Gabe. You saw him in the first video. And with our special guest, David Blanks. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Dave?
Sure, why not? My name is David Blanks. I am from the United States of America. I am 18 years of age.
Okay, yeah, that's a good start off. How's where do you live?
I live in California, the United States of America.
How is it in California this time of year? Is it nice?
Pretty weird weather here.
Pretty weird weather.
You got cold and then hot the next day, it seems.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a bit of a bipolar climate. But what are some things you like to do? What are some things that take up some of your time, some of your hobbies, etc.?
Most of the time, what I do is software development and game and stuff.
Well,
with my buddies and just hang out with people. And
I'm under the impression that you and my co-host here, Gabe, are actually working on a 5M server for GTA 5 RP. You want to go ahead and tell us some things about that?
I would, but as of now, I would like to keep that for another time.
Oh, you want to keep it a little bit, disclosure? A little bit of disclosure over it? That's fine, we're not here to press or pry. So, in a lot of our episodes, or in all of our episodes, we eventually bring up just the overall basis of just politics in general. So, where do you stand when it comes to the United States, the parties, Democrat, Republican, or if you don't have a particularly or a particular side that you choose, that's fine too. But if you do, I would like to know more about it.
Alright, so the side I choose mainly, 100% is for sure not the Democratic side, because they're Democrats. They're just liberals and retards.
Well, those are pretty bold claims. What are some reasons that you think that way or feel that way?
Just because they don't support Trump. They're Democrats. They don't.
So you support Trump's
Biden.
Future inauguration, January 21st?
I sure do, and I always will.
So, how does, since I know that you're 18 and the economy definitely affects you now that you're officially an adult, how does it affect you? Does it affect you positively, negatively? How does it affect you?
The current economy currently is a little overpriced here, at least in California. Last week I went to Arizona, and the economy was a lot better, lower compared to California.
Oh, sorry. My co-host here looks a little uncomfortable. Gabe, are you comfortable?
Oh my God, what's going on here?
Are you comfortable, Gabe?
Let's get this podcast going.
Let's get it. You're doing something in your pocket there. What are you doing with your head in your pocket? So you
I
said
think
that,
he's doing an appropriate thing.
Yeah, I think he needs to do this on his free time. But What are, you said that the economy affects you negatively, especially in the area where you live, being California. What are some things that you've definitely noticed a price rise in, or something that's got more expensive over time?
So currently in California, or the area I live in, the gas prices. The gas prices are just overly bad here. $5 a gallon
Damn,
compared to Arizona, where it's $2 to $3 a gallon.
it's 2 to 3 where we live too. I think it's like 2.39 for uh, premium unleaded. But anyways,
Yeah, it's.
uh, so you
Last
said
week
that you choose. My bad. Go ahead.
last week when I was in Arizona, to get the whole tank filled, it was only $55 compared to here where it's like 100 to 120.
That's what do you drive where it's that much for gas? What do
We
you drive?
drive a Jeep 2019 Grand Cherokee.
Those things are a bit of gas guzzlers. Have you thought about maybe getting something that's a little bit more reliable on gas, such as like for example, maybe a Ford Fusion or a Honda?
Not really. Jeeps have been, good for me. They accelerate very well. I, I will give it that.
Well, they're definitely very reliable vehicles, but I feel like when it comes to the gas guzzling aspect of the vehicle, I feel like they definitely could do a little bit better on the mileage.
Well, that could be, something that could come, but I think Jeeps are overall good with gas because even the other vehicles that have had like a Hyundai and all that, they were pretty similar with gas.
Oh, really? Well, maybe so. I'm not a car expert by any means. But when it
Nor am
comes to
I,
you choosing
so.
the sign or the side of Republican, is there like any particular reason why you lean towards that side more than Democrats? Like any actual reasons?
Uh, well, we all know a Democrat president, Joe Biden,
And Kamala.
is a. Well, yeah, you got a point. We know that Joe Biden's a.
Looks like our co-host here is taking a nap. You might have to wake up.
I see that.
Hey, co-host. Co-host. There you go. Do you have anything to add to him choosing the side of Republican co-host? Seems you're looking in the wrong direction.
40,
The
no.
Sorry, guys, we're very new to this type of scenery.
The Democratic Party is bad. As I said in the one episode of me.
Yeah, he did have he definitely did have a what do you call it? A very strong reasoning behind his affiliation with the Republicans. Do you think you could also give us I guess a good reason on why you would choose the Republican side? Like any reasons besides just bold claims that they're bad? Like any maybe research that you have done in the favor of the Republican side?
Based off of my research, I know Joe Biden's a child predator. And he's a Democrat. So there's my answer.
So do you think
all
all
the
Democrats kind of
support each other.
choose? You think all Democrats are just overall bad people? Just they're all bad, or do you think it's just a couple bad apples?
Most of them. There's some people, of course, like my grandfather, who, he's Donald Trump, but I still respect him, but
So, does he support Donald Trump or not?
no, he doesn't. He hates Donald Trump.
Has he ever given you a reason as to why he, particularly dislikes Trump?
Uh, Racial things, apparently.
Racial things, like him saying racial things, or Donald Trump doing or saying racial things?
Trump, apparently, doing or saying racial things. I never really looked into it myself because I never found interest in it, but
Well, there's
from what
definitely
I've heard,
always a side to a story. There's definitely bad parts to every person, but I feel like it's definitely important to maybe try to look for the good in both and then just compare just overall who's a better leader for the states. But I feel like a lot of people definitely get blinded because of a blind affiliation with the party, and so it's always good to not just choose a party, but to choose a person that adequately represents your interest. And I feel like if someone on the Democratic side, has your interests at heart and everything that you want, you should vote for that person, and not just because, Republican because you're an adequate Republican. Would you say that you agree with that?
yeah, I sure do agree with that. Very much do. I'm just trying to figure out what our co-host is doing. He looks like his eyes are closed, and now they're open.
Oh yeah, our co-host. He's not that talkative right now. I'm not sure why. We could definitely use his input.
Yeah.
For he is a co-host.
Right now.
Yeah, he is a little sleepy right now. You want to go ahead and wake up, co-host?
Hey.
Co-host, do you want to wake up? Co-host. Co-host, wake up.
We need to get like a plug.
There he goes. He's here. He's here. So, co-host, do you have any input as to, his grandpa, or I think it was his grandpa, correct?
Yeah, my grandfather.
Do you have any, reason you might suspect his grandpa being against Trump? Since he couldn't provide any that he really knew for a fact, or any that he really even thought, do you have any that you could, maybe just guess?
Is a Democrat.
Great input. Okay, so your grandpa is a Democrat, right?
110%.
Well, do you think that you might be able to change his mind? Do you? Seems our guest might be having some technical difficulties. Are you here?
Sorry, my mind, shut off for a second. I very much think I could change his mind. It would just be very difficult because if you say you like Trump, well, I don't know. You might end up in the hospital. Let's just say that.
Is he like an? Is he ex-military? Does he have firearms? Like, why would you say that?
He would try his little 16 years of age fist against you.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me of something that we're a little familiar with. It's the mid-age gap. It's the age gap between mid-40s to late 60s. They always tend to use their age as a sort of elevation in the argument. They tend to use the argument that since they're older, they know better. Even though, based off of just complete facts, that's true in a lot of circumstances, but it's also true or untrue in most circumstances. But, eventually, those people will have to come to realization that they're not the smartest person in the room. And a very popular quote being, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And another quote that I've never heard of, but one that I like to just think of on my own and just think of it in my head sometimes is, if you think you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. Or you're in the wrong room if you're in a room with that person, because those type of people, they really can't be reasoned with, because they're so dead set on what they believe that they really aren't open to any other opinions.
Agreed. One thing I'd like to add on is I don't know if you guys know, but I've recently seen a tweet on X or Twitter of Biden congratulating Trump, and from that, my grandfather seen it, and he was a little upset at Biden.
He was upset at Biden for congratulating Trump on his presidency?
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you know of any reason why that might be the case?
I think it's because of Trump's actions, or alleged actions of being a racist.
Well, I don't think I've ever really heard of anything. Well, I've definitely heard of him being racist, sexist, etc. Co-host, wake up. But, I feel like it's definitely up to interpretation. I've never seen any definitive evidence of him being a blatant racist, but some people like to change stories and alter stories, and that's always going to be around. That's not something we can fix, but we just have to do our own research and be wary of what we, just see blindly. Not just on the internet, but just from other people in general. If you really want to know the truth or what your truth could be, you have to do your own research and find that out.
Can you get your co-host to wake up?
Co-host, can you wake up? There you go. He's up. So co-host, put an input. You gotta do some sort of input.
No.
Very good input. I like
Very
that.
good input. Great. I really enjoyed that input. Co-host here actually has his own sort of political views that he likes to express quite avidly. Would you like to co-host? Would you like to maybe tell us about some of your views? Seems our co-host looks a little too excited to tell us.
He does. Hey,
All right.
co-host.
Co-host.
Shoot.
The Democrats are bad people. The Jews run the world. Hillary Clinton killed 2 children in 2016. The government is fake. We're run by lizard people.
Isn't that a Rick and Morty quote?
Maybe.
Well, when it comes to shows, what kind of shows are you interested in, David?
I really don't watch much TV, but when I do, I just watch the news at this point.
Do you watch
Okay.
anything like Rick and Morty, Archer, Family Guy, anything adult animation?
When I do, it most likely is either on YouTube in some type of way, or also it still could be on TV. Who knows?
What about Hulu? Do you use any streaming apps like Hulu, Netflix, Stars, Prime Video, Paramount Plus?
Netflix 24/7.
Well, what are some things you like to watch on Netflix? I know Breaking Bad's a good show. Have you watched Breaking Bad?
Actually, yes, I have. I watched a few series, all that seasons of shows and all that, movies, all that type of things on Netflix. Maybe I can tell you some things real quick.
Of course. Is there any way you want to do this specifically?
Uh, Not really, because I don't really have anything on my Netflix currently that I'm actively watching.
You don't have any particularly interesting shows that you're watching yet?
Nah, not at the moment. I recently watched the Jake Paul versus Mike
Mike
Tyson
Tyson.
fight.
What'd you think about that? I know a lot of people were very upset with how that fight turned out.
I agree with that. I feel like Mike could have taken down Paul, but I think Tyson did the best he can, especially at his age versus Paul's age.
I feel like it's very dishonorable to fight someone who's that old and not completely in their prime yet. A lot of people speculate that the fight could have been rigged. Would you agree with those people's statements?
I kind of do. I'd have to look more into the research, but from what I heard, yeah, it was kind of rigged and just, yeah, it was very interesting of a fight.
Well, that's that's about all the time we have left. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you about our sponsors. Our sponsors are Dubby Energy. Use code RACINDUBS to get 15% off on all your orders. RACYNDUBBS, all capitals, one word, on Dubby Energy. So, does anyone else have any final points they wanna add before we cut the cams?
Yes.
Coast, you can go first, and I'll go after.
Go ahead, Coast.
All right.
I'll let you
Walkers.
have them.
Alright, what about you, David?
Awesome.
Do you have any final standpoints?
I just want to say, have a great day to all the viewers watching, and we appreciate you for coming out and watching us
Ramble.
do a podcast and ramble. There you go.
This has been the 3rd episode of Season 1. We are going to do 2 more episodes of this season, and then we're going to go ahead and prepare for the 2nd season of the Missers Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been the Missers Podcast. Everybody, go ahead and wave goodbye. You guys want to wave goodbye?
Oh wait, I know. I might know how to, wave. I'm trying to figure it out. Man.
You're good. That works. Oh, there you go. Alright. Good evening and good night, ladies and gentlemen. This has been